Good morning. Welcome to Trust Life with Louise Hay. I know that's backwards as you watch it. I really like I got a puppy in my hands here on a leash. I really like this little book because it goes every day of the year. Gives us something to think about and meditate on and ponder on. And it's interesting how each one of them often coincides with what we just practiced and did in our Qigong practice immediately prior to this. She talks about everything I touch is a success. Do you feel like you're successful? Do you feel like you receive the things that you would like to receive? Do you feel like you can manifest things? You know, I always, and yesterday we talked about, yesterday's meditation, we talked about, I moved from poverty thinking to prosperity thinking. So as we think about things and as we think about what we've created and what we've achieved in our lives and what we would like to achieve, look back on things and see where you actually have created stuff. Because for the last couple of years, before I started my Qigong practice and before I started my Louise Hay work, I was in a place of depression and anger and a lot of bitterness, and that's when the healing, or the healing, that's when my hips started saying to me, you need to make some changes. Because I used to run marathons and ultra marathons, and I used to ride horses, but I allowed my mind to go into these places of darkness and depression and anger and bitterness, and my body received all that and said, all right, here we go. Because I was feeling like I wasn't accomplishing anything. I was feeling like I just didn't have any accomplishments. Just a second. This puppy is chewing on my tripod. Please do not eat the tripod. Thank you. I have a puppy at my feet who would like to come up here and show himself to you. So as I took stock a little bit and started to count my blessings, and count the things that I actually had accomplished and have accomplished and created. If you go to our website, heartshavenranch.ca, you will see there a red and green house. You'll see a red and green arena. You'll see a riding program, a wonderful offerings. Those were not handed to us. The place that you see all those buildings built on was a barley field in 2007. So everything that's here we have built. And we did not come from a ton of money. But I would open myself to the powers of my master, and I would put out the dream that I had, and I would say, so this is the dream. And the master would deliver. I remember when we were planning to build the arena, and we had already had an established business, and we had a business plan, and my husband has got his MBA, and so our books were pretty impeccable. And so we went to the bank asking for money so that we could expand and build an arena so that we could take our programs indoors and run them year round. And the bank said no. If you're running cows, they'll give you millions of dollars. If you're running horses, they're like, nah, we don't want to talk to you. So we had to go to some private investors. And we had a certain amount of money, but it wasn't going to be enough to build the arena and enclose it and put some heat in there. And if you're going to start a project of that magnitude, you have to have enough money to actually complete that phase of the project, because a half-baked project is worse than no project at all. And so we were short a certain amount of money. It was a significant amount, and we were short that money. And so I put the powers out to my master, and I said, if this is supposed to move forward, please have that money come forward. And the other money that we had been lent, we had not started our business, we had not dug anything yet, we had not built anything yet. And so we knew that we could simply return the money of the people that had invested in us, and it was all private investors, friends and family. But we were short a significant amount of money. And so I just said, to the universe, to God, to master, whatever you want to call that. I just said, this is where we're at. We're short. If you would like this program to continue, if there's a blessing here, great. Please bring that money to us. If not, we will let go of it. We will give back the money that people have invested. It's easy to do. We simply rewrite their checks, and we'll find something else to do with our lives. Well, in the next 24 hours, an investor came forward and said, I'm in. And so with a bit of fear, I went, oh, okay, this is going to really happen. And now we have a writing program. We've got a therapeutic writing program. We've got a lot of people that we've trained instructors. There's a lot of people that come through our doors and create themselves. I had writing clients come in yesterday, so I teach therapeutic writing, and I also take these principles and the certifications that I have brought into my life to be able to help others heal. And I had a little client yesterday come in, probably about 7 years old, had some very difficult circumstances in their life. And they insisted and told me under no uncertain terms that they were not getting on a horse and that they hated horses and they didn't know why they were here. And I knew why they were here. And so as I honored, and in all of these practices that we talk about, as I honored what this little person was telling me and said, you don't have to ride a horse anytime. You do not have to ride. You don't have to I'm not going to make you do anything here. And then I asked this little person, I said, have you been hurt by a horse before? And this person said, yeah. I said, have you fallen off? And this person said, yes. And this person also said, and the horse tried to bite me too. And I'm not getting on a horse. I said, you don't have to get on a horse. But I have a cat. And this cat likes to ride horses. So I put the cat, Callie, up on Penny's back. And this little person goes, wow. And just as I honored that little person's experiences and honored their fears, by the end of the day, that little person was happily on their horse. Happily on their horse. I did not coerce them. I simply said, if you would choose, you can choose. This is, and showed them what would happen in each step that they would take. And so they gave them permission, gave them a vision, and this person stepped into that vision. They accepted the vision, but I did not force the vision on them. So as we think about manifesting ourselves, everything I touch is a success. And one little child also that came in the door, these are new clients that I have. This child has autism, and everything frightens them, overstimulation. And so they were frightened to get on their horse as well. And by the end of the ride, they cried because they didn't want to get off their horse. So everything I touch is a success. Many people have negative beliefs about prosperity and money. These are beliefs they learned as children. But now that as they're adults, they can change these beliefs to better their lives. We get our beliefs because we need them as children. We need them to protect us and help us manage our lives in some way. As we grow older, we can decide if that is a belief that we still need to keep. Let's affirm together, I now forgive all those in my childhood who, in their ignorance, taught me negative and incorrect things about myself. I love my parents, and I now move beyond their old limiting thoughts. I now declare that these affirmations are my new and true beliefs about myself and about life. I accept them as truth, and I know I deserve all good in this world. Here are more affirmations for you. It would help to write them on a piece of paper and keep them in areas where you will see them often. Today, I am wealthy. It is all right if my family and childhood friends continue to believe in limiting thoughts. They do not have to grow in the same way I am growing. There is more money in this world than there are grains of sand. God loves those who use their talents and abilities to become rich in loving ways. I do matter to myself and to life. I am deeply loved and cherished by the universe. As part of my prosperity growth, I am free to move from one social level to another without guilt or fear. Now, if some of those affirmations, as you said them or heard them, brought up things and maybe brought up feelings of anger or frustration or yeah buts, I call them the yeah buts. Yeah, but that doesn't apply to me. This is where the tapping comes in. We can tap on our karate chop point. We can thump, here's my knee. We can pound on our knee. If we're driving our car, we can pound on the steering wheel. If we're dealing with anger or grief or anything that is intense in our bodies and our minds and our spirits, we can use this to pound and tap and say, yeah, but I'm angry. Yeah, but this shouldn't have happened. And as we say that, and we're tapping at the same time, in the Qigong practice, we tapped on our bodies and allowed things to move. As we feel exactly what we feel it all, and tap as we feel it, it moves back into the universe, back into that universe that loves us. And you can call the universe God, you can call it Buddha, you can call it Allah, whatever term you need to connect with the universe and think about, is this life happening to me or is it happening for me? Are the things that I'm experiencing going to bless my existence and bless the existence of others if I bring it in a way that can be healed, that can bring joy, even in sadness and grief? And the tapping helps to move that through. Even though I'm very angry right now about whatever it is, I love and accept myself, and it is okay to feel my feelings. All that I feel is valid and is mine. It is okay to feel this way. And as we say that and we tap, if you just say, it's okay to stay in my anger, I'm going to stay mad, that's a whole different thing. If we say, it is okay to feel this anger at its full intensity, as we're tapping, we're moving that anger through, or whatever the emotion is that is really intense. We're moving it through and we're allowing it to go back to that universe, back to that unconditional love, to that space of all possibility. And as we breathe in, because we have to be breathing in and out, as we breathe in our Qigong practice today, we breathed in the feeling of joy in the moment. We can think about, okay, in the past this hurt and these things hurt, so that's gone. Those memories color the present. The anticipation of the future and things that might happen in the future colors the future. But right now, we're in the present. And so we can breathe in joy in this moment, no matter what. We can release on the exhale all that extra energy. And as we tap, it moves and it goes. And every time we breathe in, we take in and fill into that empty space that we just released through the tapping, that joy. It can come. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. Watch for my website, roxywright.com. I am creating, and I have a webmaster now that I'm working with, so that I can create some classes for you that can bring you into more awareness of yourself, more freedom, more emotional freedom. EFT is called Emotional Freedom Techniques. And so in January, I'll have my whole website up and robust. Watch for me on YouTube as well. I hope that this blesses your life today. Namaste.